On this episode of Slainte, we take a ride with Maritime Express Cider, where vintage decor meets modern variety. While the Dominion Atlantic no longer travels our maritime railways, we'll explore the new company, which has taken up local lodgings and carries a variety of craft beverages from around the province, as well as conducting experiences of their own. Today, I found myself in rustic Kentville, Nova Scotia, where a new owner had taken up residence in the stately remnants of the former Dominion Atlantic Hotel. While lodging travelers is no longer the building's primary premise, giving his patrons from all over the Maritimes a crisp new experience is certainly foremost on Jimmy's mind.
So the main tap room here where we're in, and then we have a side room that is more of a rental, private rental space, and we're renovating a kitchen right now, so that'll be more dining area as well, and overflow from the tap room. And then there's the what used to be the front lobby of the hotel, and that is kind of a public space right now. We have that licensed as well, and there's also a ballroom that's beyond that we have licensed as well. So.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of potential for weddings and all that kind of stuff here as well.
Yeah, stunning.
Yeah.
So what possessed you to start all this?
Well, it's kind of a snowball thing, really. I moved to Nova Scotia about 3 years ago, and my kind of, I didn't really know a lot about the valley where we moved here. I just loved, everything I had known about it. When I first visited, I was like, this is where I want to live forever. So my kind of goal was to put an orchard in and start really small. And I spent a year or two kind of looking at different options here. And then I met my partner, Scott, who kind of had a vision of starting a cidery or a brewery or something in Kentville. And so we kind of met up and started going over ideas and looked at a few places. There's a few places that we tried to get and lost. And then this was kind of like a last minute, while we were hoping for another place, we walked in here and both of us were just like, this is it.
It might seem obvious, Maritime Express Cider, and this being an old railway station, but your logo and your name are absolutely brilliant. Can you tell me a little bit about why you did choose to go with those?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure. So the name, we went through obviously a lot of thinking about the name and many different options. The Maritime Express was actually a company in the late 1800s that used to deliver the perishable goods on train around the province. So they were quick delivery and refrigeration and things like that. So they were, apples, alcohol, money, stuff like that. So we just kind of thought that fit a little bit with it, especially with this being such a big railroad town in its day. The hotel was built in 1930 by the Dominion Atlantic Railroad as a kind of a luxury hotel for people traveling through from Halifax to generally Boston or New York, or this is kind of a stopping ground before they went to Yarmouth or Digby or wherever the boat left from.
Whatever's down there.
Whatever's down there, I don't know. So they built it in 1930. From when they started construction to grand opening, it was like 200 and something days. They built it really quick. I'm sure they had a lot of people working on it. But so there was, I believe, 80 or 90 rooms in here. And it was kind of full luxury, like everything. There's, fireplaces and hair salon and all that kind of thing, billiards room and stuff like that in here.
So you have 4 or 5 ciders available here right now?
Right now we have 5 on. Yeah, we also have a raspberry mint on that was kind of a smaller batch that I just had got some raspberry juice from a local farmer, so, and I had lots of mint in my garden, so. Yeah, so we have 5 on right now. Eventually we have 12 taps on eventually we'd like to have 6 ciders from us and then 6 local beers. So we also have local beer and wine and stuff here too.
So you make your own ciders, but then you also have local brewers and wineries have their own stuff here.
Yeah, we kind of have this goal of trying to get every brewery in the province in here at one point. So we basically, take a brewery, we'll get a few kegs from a brewery, and once they're off, we'll put in a different. So we usually have 5 or 6 different breweries on, and sometimes just 1 or 2 kegs from them. So not really any commitment to one brewery in general, but we're just kind of constantly buying from all different ones, which is really fun to try, especially for people that like regulars and stuff. They come in once a week, and you never have the same beers here, so that's kind of fun.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's nice to kind of gather things so that people can come to one place and try lots of different things.
Yeah, and like with offering flights and stuff like that, you can. It's a cool way to try beers, from across the province that you can't really get here.
To find out more about what to expect as a patron, I spoke with one of the cidery's first employees, Chelsea.
I love it. So I'm actually from Alberta, and I never really knew anything about cider. It wasn't a big thing when I was there. So when I moved here, it was just, what I loved about it was that it was so local. Everybody just really loves apples and really loves cider and loves producing new things. There's so many craft breweries. I really wanted to be a part of it.
Do you have anyone who comes in and has never had cider, or say they don't like cider and then they try something?
Yeah, a lot actually. There was some people that came in yesterday. They didn't know anything about cider. They didn't know anything about really craft beer. And it's fun. You kind of make an experience out of it. So it's like, okay, well, what do you like? Do you like dry things? Do you like sweet things? It's fun to see people find things that they enjoy.
How would you describe the atmosphere for somebody who's never been here or who might want to come here but doesn't know what to expect?
It's homey. It's comfortable. It's somewhere that you walk in and you want to stay. A lot of people love to come and sit and play games or just hang out with their friends and their family. And people get haircuts and they just kind of wander over. It's really, really comfortable, and people come back a lot. So it's like a little family.
And if you had to suggest one cider, let's say somebody likes a variety of things, but they couldn't miss it.
Okay.
What one would you suggest to them?
Probably hopped. Probably hopped. It's just so different. A lot of people are excited to see that we have something hopped and something different. And it's not like beer. It's kind of perfect for somebody that doesn't know if they like beer, doesn't know if they like cider, but they want to try something a little different.
And what do you think about having other local brewers or winemakers available here as well?
I think it's wonderful. It's like a community. Everybody helps each other, and everybody takes inspiration and ideas, and they just grow. It's lovely. It's really good.
Next up on Slainte, we go directly to the source with a tour of the facilities with the head cider maker. And we get the chance to try some of his latest creations, including a barrel-aged cider and another made with some unexpected ingredients.
We are from Kentville. We've lived in Kentville for 50+ years, and it's just a beautiful sunny day. We felt like coming in and enjoying a cider on the patio.
I love the Maritime Express Cider. I throw axes downstairs, so at Halloween axe throwing, and they usually have the Dayliner on tap. So I go down there, I come up here, just had the tofu sandwich, which was amazing.
I enjoy the IPAs, and what I really like about this place is that they bring in different beers from across the province. So whether you like Garrison or Propeller, or I probably shouldn't mention brand names, but Boxing Rock, or I know a few of them, I come in because they keep changing up the IPAs. You know what, you get a favorite, and then they take it away, but they've always got another one to replace it, so it's all good.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Being in the old Dominion Atlantic Hotel was an exciting experience. To learn a bit more about what made Jimi's ciders so special, I sat down with the bar manager, Guy.
I never drank that much cider before I started here, but Jimi's phenomenal at what he does. He makes a phenomenal product. Yeah.
Wow, tell me a bit about his cider.
His cider is the first one that he has is a blue nose, which is a dry. Dayliner is a semi-sweet, which is probably one of the favorite ones we have. The hopped is done with a hop, but it's not heated, so it doesn't give off that bitterness. It's more cold pressed, and it gives off a citrusy taste. The rhubarb, he's got a rhubarb, but he doesn't have it on now. That'll be later on in the season. And then there's a raspberry mint, which is delicious. It's phenomenal.
Well, what do you think makes his ciders so unique?
His precision to detail. He is amazing at detail. He's produced, I think, 5 or 6 different batches of the Dayliner or the Blue Nose, and it's consistently the same.
Next, I headed down to the cidery with Jimmy to check up on a few of his latest works in progress. So we're down here in the cidery, which is amazing and smells delicious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this is an old, this is actually part of an old like staff lounge, and there's a like men's bathroom back there that we actually ran out and pulled out all the old urinals from the 30s.
Probably a good choice.
Yeah, yeah, so this is where the cider, all the cider gets made. There's 4 fermentation tanks here, and then there's a bright tank right there where I carbonate. So these are just classic wine tanks. The ice you can see here is just cold liquid moving around the outside to keep the temperatures down, which is kind of cool. And so basically I like to ferment my stuff really cold. So I have a ferment going on right here, and I try to drag it out for about 3 weeks. So I could do it probably in like 3 days if I wanted to, but 2 to 3 weeks I try to make the ferment go, because I find the colder and longer it is, the more interesting things start to come out. So I just kind of work right on the line of stopping the fermentation from the cold and keeping it going, and I find that takes a little bit longer, but I find the result is really nice.
And how cold are these tanks? I mean, there's ice on the outside of this one.
Yeah, so this is a tank that has, it's full of Sour Patch Kids, and so it's, I've dropped it to like 0 degrees because I don't want any ferments to start happening again. I'm trying to keep the flavor of the Sour Patch in there. So I can basically stop a ferment by dropping the temperature really cold, and that stops the yeast from activating. So that's why this is very icy right now.
Yeah.
This one here is at about 15 degrees. This is usually around 2 to 4 degrees. Mm-hmm. So it's finished rhubarb cider that is just ready to get filtered. Yeah, so I try to have 1 empty tank at a time so that I can transfer stuff into it and move around. Mm-hmm. That sometimes doesn't happen, but then it gets complicated.
Yes.
But that's kind of my goal, is to have 1 empty tank, and then I have stuff, this is usually just a couple days where I carbonate it, and then I bottle out of that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so this right here is cider that I started about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it's going really slow, actually a bit slower than usual, but it's coming along really nice. So right now it's about halfway, and so there's still a lot of kind of appliness to it, and kind of natural sweetness. So we can try.
Oh, fun.
We can try some there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really cloudy, really dark.
That looks so good already.
And yeah, we have talked about actually doing a cider like this.
Yeah?
If we can, the problem is trying to stop it so it doesn't keep going. Like a cloudy, really sweet, low alcoholic, it's probably about 3% right now.
It just smells like fresh, like juiced apples, like you're making like apple pie at home.
Yeah, it still has that like cider smell that you kind of lose when you finish the full ferment. It's warm, like it's room temperature, so it's a bit.
Oh my God, I love this. You should absolutely just serve it like this.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like this eventually.
This has Sour Patch Kids in it.
Sour Patch Kids and hibiscus tea and grapefruit. But this one I went with like a really clean, acidic cider.
It's beautiful.
And then I added everything I could think of that would be sour and taste good.
And what do you think of it?
And like a cool mix.
Okay, wow.
There's a bit of sugar in there from the Sour Patch Kids.
There's multiple things happening like as soon as I take a drink.
Yeah,
There's these different flavors all hit like my palate at the same time. It's like boom,
it's
boom,
very
boom.
strange and complex. So now we just have to think of a good name for it.
No, it's really light, and then Oh, the Sour Patch Kids kind of kick in at the end.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I put finished cider in here, and then I added a second yeast to do a secondary ferment in the barrel, and then I added another jug of maple syrup, and it's been slowly fermenting now for about 4 months. So it's really strong. It's too strong right now. It's probably 11 or 12%.
Oh, okay.
And it's like alcohol really hits you.
Yeah.
So I'll probably cut it with like some finished fresh cider to bring the percentage down a little bit.
Yeah.
And the strong flavor. And then I might add in a little bit more maple syrup right at the end just to get kind of a kick.
This is exciting. It smells so it's got this like this sweet caramelly kind of nose to it. Oh man.
Still mapley.
Still mapley. Bourbon for sure. All
Lots
over.
of bourbon, lots of alcohol.
Yes, you can definitely. It actually almost tastes like you are drinking a very light bourbon, which I have
cocktail.
no complaints about that. That is,
it's almost like a cider.
it's
like you said,
delicious.
cider cocktail. Oh, thank you.
Next up on Slainte, I get to sit down and experience firsthand Maritime Express's selection of craft ciders. With flavors such as cranberry, raspberry, mint, and lemon, I find some exciting new favorites you won't want to miss.
It's a lovely bar. We've always loved the building, calling us in. They changed their names, but when they built the patio, it's an amazing spot for a beverage on a Sunday afternoon.
Having it local, just down the street, great location, beautiful building. It's gorgeous. How they renovated it, it's spot on.
I quite like the Blue Nose, one of their ciders, which is the driest of their ciders, I believe. It's nice and dry. That's my favorite. But they also have some special ones, rhubarb cider and mojito cider, which are also delicious when they have those on. So.
This deck is amazing. I love the flooring. Seats are very comfortable. This is the place to be on an afternoon. Just come and hang out. Great service.
After speaking with Jimmy and some of the patrons and touring the facilities, I was finally able to hop aboard and sample the craft ciders for myself. Okay, Jimmy, so these all look amazing. Is everything you have on tap right now?
Yeah, these are 5 on tap right now. We like to have between 5 or 6 different ones on tap.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what are we trying?
So we're starting with the Flying Blue Nose. This is our dry cider. It's fully dry, no leftover sugar, and very kind of clean, very bubbly, a bit closer to like a really light sparkling wine.
Nice. And the Flying Blue Nose, where's that from?
Yeah, so the Flying Blue Nose was an old train that ran like in the late 1800s, one of the classic trains that used to come through here to doing deliveries and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's so cool. Soft apple smell, so lovely.
Yeah, very subtle, kind of crisp.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really nice. Very light, so light, but it has this lovely burst of flavor.
Yeah.
And it is dry, but I mean, I love it.
And the second one here is the Dayliner, which is another train that ran on the lines, a much newer one. It was a passenger train going from Halifax into the valley.
I might have been on that one at one point.
Well, that's really cool.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite a bit sweeter. Not fully sweet. Kind of in between, like what you would classify as like a normal sweet cider.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, compared to the other one, I see that it is much sweeter. Not that it's a sweet cider, but
Yeah. The sweetness is from the apple, so it's really appley and.
yeah, it does. It has kind of more of like I don't want to quite call it juicy, but it does have that
juicy's a good
kind
word.
of
I
like
think we have that in our tasting
tendency
notes, so.
that like
Yeah.
like you are like just biting into like a fresh apple kind of flavor.
Yeah, well put. Yeah, so the next one here is called the Train Hopper, which is a hopped cider.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's 3 types of local hops. very citrusy and kind of the floral hops. Mm-hmm. You can kind of smell the.
Oh, wow.
Bit like a. Not really like a beer, but it has that hoppy.
It smells like roses.
Yeah, that's the floral note.
It smells like a rose garden.
Yeah, a little bit lemony.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And kind of, it's nice, something different if you like really dry ciders.
Yeah, the taste is absolutely, like, I do get that lemon in there.
Yeah.
Like that, and then there's like that citrusy freshness.
Yeah, a little bit of, like not grapefruity, but citrusy, yeah.
Yeah, citrus, absolutely.
Number 4 is our Conductor Cranberry. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
our cranberry cider.
Okay.
Nice pink color. This one is super tart.
Okay.
There's, I think our bottle says that there's about 200 cranberries in every bottle, so it's like really,
Holy.
really cranberry.
So this is healthy for you. It's got
healthy.
all sorts of antioxidants. Right?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of like really hits you in the face with the cranberry smell. But there's a bit of sweetness in it, but the tartness of the cranberry just kind of totally take over.
Takes over, eh?
Yeah, and that's really the only note you can give for this one.
Oh, it's so nice, though. Yeah. Oh, it's delicious. It's cranberry, it's tart, but there's a little bit of sweetness that kind of kicks in first before the tartness.
Yeah, it kind of saves you
takes
from
over.
a full pucker.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is kind of pucker.
Yeah, absolutely. It does, it saves you. That's
Yeah.
right. You still make the train. You
Yeah,
get there.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's delicious, though.
Yeah, so this one, would be closer to cranberry wine.
Yeah.
But it's a low percentage because tons of cranberry in it.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun one. And then our last one here is raspberry mint.
Oh.
We don't have a name for it, we just call it raspberry mint.
Raspberry mint.
We just did a really small run of this, so we're almost out of it.
Oh no, it smells
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, it's got a lot of mint. A lot of mint on the...
And this is mint that you picked in your garden.
Yep.
How much mint is in this?
It's a pretty big mint garden, so to be fair. There was about 3 or 4 pounds of mint. So
Wow.
almost a garbage bag full, probably. I didn't put the garbage bag in, but...
Yeah, of course. No garbage bags.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so tons of mint, and then
Beautiful.
there is quite a bit of raspberry in there. That's what gives it that nice
Beautiful pink
nice
color.
pink. Yeah.
No one's gonna like this. They probably should just not come here and take any of what's left. This is amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I find the mint and raspberry just kind of like made like a flavor together, kind of. You
It's
don't really
like-
get them.
It's kind of like a cider raspberry mojito.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
like if you were just like if you had it on ice and there was like a little like I would think it was a mojito. Like it's delicious.
Yeah, probably a sprig of mint or something.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even know. I would think, oh yeah, this is a mixed cocktail drink. It's always heartwarming when people fall in love with Nova Scotia and decide to make it their home. Cider may not be new here, but with Jimmy's attention to detail and spot-on creative instinct, you'll feel like you're discovering it all over again. And with a jaw-dropping location and a rotating selection of products from across the province, Maritime Express Cider is full steam ahead with some of the best new ciders that are sure to become lifelong friends.